I was a college head coach for cross country and track and field. And that is a job that I've wanted to do for quite some time before they ever gave me the chance to pull it off. But now I'm on YouTube, making content for you. So the question that you deserve an answer to is, how in the world did I get here? Because I love track and field, especially at the college level. But after my years coaching in the NCAA and junior college, I realized that I couldn't do it anymore. And I don't know how to be anything less than honest with you. So here is the real reason why. But to understand why I left college coaching, you have to know how I got there in the first place. Because I didn't run track and field most of my life. I actually started as a sophomore in high school. I only ran during the spring outdoor season from that point until I graduated. But that's because I was playing basketball the whole time. But that's another story for another conversation, because clearly that career didn't turn out as planned. I ran the 100 and the 200 and won a lot of races in my local area. So by the time I broke a school record or two, I figured that I probably belonged at the D1 level. And the truth about that is I was delusional, but barely good enough to sneak my way into Division I as a recruit. But it wasn't easy, because I reached out to over 70 schools via email, and some of them I even hand wrote a letter and mailed it to them. Now stay with me on this, because my recruiting journey has a lot to do with my college coaching career. And after all that, only about 7 schools showed any interest in recruiting me. But they weren't Syracuse, they weren't Duke, and they weren't Miami, because those are the schools I wanted to go to. So allow me to be clear, because when I say I was the bare minimum of good to get into D1, what I really mean is I could have ended up in D2 or D3 and nobody would have noticed. But I eventually committed to Lafayette College, which is still in Division I. And I ran there for 4 years, and I never became an All-American like I planned. But I definitely did improve to be one of the better runners in the Mid-Atlantic region for D1. But all that really means is I got fast enough to maybe make a final and then lose to athletes like Brendan Rodney, who's now a world champion, by a lot. And all of that led to my coaching journey, where my first job was as a head coach for cross country, and later as an assistant for track and field at the high school level. And I knew nothing about distance at the time, but I studied a whole bunch of books to figure it out. And 3 years later, when I was about to turn 25 years old, I was offered my first head coaching job in the NCAA Division II. But that was for a cross-country only program. And for the record, I was a part-time head coach the entire time. But remember when I said my recruiting journey actually matters? Because by the time I took that job, I had figured out that most high school recruits were just like I was. They didn't know which schools actually wanted to recruit them, and they were struggling to get anyone to pay attention to them. And they probably weren't going to send 70 emails out just to get most of them to be ignored. So as a head coach for a program that was honestly never good at all in the past, and was a track team without track, with barely any scholarship dollars, I recruited 14 men and women to join my team. And I'm not saying it was easy, but I convinced them to come by selling them the dream that my school and my program was the best thing for them, which probably wasn't true. It was just the best thing that they knew about at the time. And you know I wasn't going to tell them that somebody else had a better offer over there if they couldn't figure that out for themselves. So my team got pretty good pretty quickly and had their best performances in school history. So after a couple of years as a part-time college coach and a high school track coach, while juggling another job at the same time, I got tired of doing it all. So I left to work one job that was full-time. But after about a year, I found myself coaching again for a junior college Division III program in track and field. And I did my thing in recruiting again, because by now I had it down to a science. Find the athletes who don't know what's good for them and convince them to join my team. And I pulled it off, transferring in 6 men and women who could help my team compete at the national level. But that track season never actually happened in Outdoor 2020. And by now you probably know why. So when the athletic department shut down for all of 2021, I left college coaching for good. And although I love coaching, and believed that I was pretty good at it.
In the 110s because everything goes up. Am I
done.
right? No, it's not.
The reason why I'm not going back is simple. I was probably a little bit too good in recruiting, because I could convince the right recruit of just about anything, which would get them on campus, competing for my team, even if it wasn't what was best for them. And I'm not saying that all college coaches recruit this way, but the ones who win the most do it because they have the best athletes, point blank period. And you can't get good athletes if you can't convince them to commit. So it doesn't matter if I don't have your major, or if the campus really isn't a good fit for you, or even if there's a D1 school somewhere that you would probably love to run at. As long as you don't know it, I can convince you to come here. It's what any good recruiter wants to do. And even if you get a scholarship, it is not about you. It's about them, because they want to win. And that's why I left college coaching, because I couldn't stand to recruit any more athletes and watch them choose a school that might not be the best for them in the long run. And it convinced me to create SCArecruiting.com, where I work directly with recruits and their families to find all the track and field schools that actually want to recruit them, then help them get college offers from them so they can choose for themselves which one is best for them. And on this channel, I'm always here to tell the stories about what is really going on out there in the world of track and field. That's no matter how shocking the truth actually is, without any Photoshop, because you deserve to know it. And of course, if you really want to get recruited for college track and field, then my videos should help you get what you want, because almost nobody knows just how hard that is to do, as well as I do. So I am Coach Rob, and this is my channel, where I don't know how to be anything else but honest with you. And no, you never have to agree with me. That is what the comment section is for, and I try to read them all. But if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.